Hello guys and welcome back to another Sons of the Forest update video. Today we've received a new update and it's pretty awesome. Now I have used console commands in order to give me the items that we're going to be talking about today, just so that you're aware. But the first big change that has come is solar panels and electricity. This is a massive change to the game, and I'm so pleased about this because it shows that they're putting a lot of effort into the build system. And with electricity, it suggests other things. For example, at the moment we have the solar panel and the light bulb. I'll build this for you really quickly. So in order to build this, we're going to first have to build a ramp. Once you have your ramp built and you need to build the full ramp, you'll be able to place your solar panels once you find them. Now that we have the solar panel ready, we're going to grab our logs and we're going to place a little section here as they show in the book. At this point, we want to grab some wire. And we can place it on each of the pieces. Now, if we grab ourselves a light bulb, we can place this directly onto here. And if we hold E, we can change the power on and off. However, this isn't yet connected. Pay attention to these orange wires. This is where they're connected. So if we grab our wire, you'll note that we can actually place another wire there. And now these are all connected. And this allows us to have the light on or off. I'm now going to set the time of day a little bit later, and you can see how it looks. And here you are. You can see, despite it being very dark at the moment, that the solar panel seems to be working and that it's producing light for us. The next thing that I want to really quickly see is whether we can connect on multiple lights to a single solar panel. We've connected the 3 light bulbs to the ramp here, and we have light being provided by all of them. I don't know if this has a certain kilowatt outage, but for now, maybe this is something we can play about with later, but for now it seems to work for multiple lights. Do let me know, guys, what you'd love to see as electrical items that are added in the game for us. I've mentioned the refrigerator. We could have ways to charge batteries, which I think is a fantastic thing. New electrified traps, potentially. I think really this opens up the game to a lot more potential when it comes to the building. If you're wondering where you can find the various light bulbs and the solar panels, the first solar panel that I have found is actually in here, and there are also light bulbs here as well. This is the very first GPS location that you can go to with the 3D printer, and you can find the light bulbs all over the place, so it's not difficult to find. Speaking of traps though, there is another thing that we have available, and if we go over to here, we have the spring traps, and I've already built this over here. All it requires is a turtle shell, 2 wires, and I believe 7 logs. I'm not quite sure what we can do with this at the moment, because what it does is allow us to spring up. I'm not sure how we'd use that in the defense of the build, but potentially we can get creative and mix that with different traps, partner them together. Something that we need to play about with. Also, one thing that is worthy of mention is that there is another blank spot underneath this spring trap, which suggests that there may be more traps coming. Moving on, at this point I want to talk about another new addition, and that is the night vision goggles. It's not going to work during the day, but if we change it to nighttime, thanks Virginia for that. As you can see, if you're viewing during the nighttime, you can see everything a lot more clear. Just make sure that you're not facing any light sources. I think we've got the moon nearby because this is starting to go very hazy. But looking away, it's fantastic. And this will be even better in the caves. Let's try it out. One thing to mention with this is this does count as your light source slot. So if you press L, you'll see that we have removed it. But yeah, another cool addition. I'm going to try and find this in the game, but for now, at least you know that it is available. So the next thing might be considered a spoiler. So if you're not interested in knowing where the unicycle is, then look away now. Look in the timestamps. I'll make sure that we have a spoiler-free section after this so that you know when you can look back. But we're now going to look at the map, and in this particular location, you can find, it's already on the map marked. I think that might be because I've already found it. But in this kidney looking lake, I think it looks like a kidney. This is just south, I say south, just down from the GPS marker. That is where the first 3D printer is. And if you go over to this little tent here, you'll see that you can find, oh, there's two. Hadn't even realized that. The Night 5. To use the Night 5, once you've picked it up, just place it down. You can dismount by, as it says in the bottom left, double jumping. And like the glider, it will be left in position. This is the only place that I've found them. I don't know if there are any more, but for some reason we have two available to us. And the controls, they are pretty quick, but they are a bit sluggish on the turning. So just be aware of that if you are using it. Pretty cool little addition there. It also has a little light on the front, but this is certainly better used to cover open areas. You don't really want to be trying to travel through the forest with one of these because it's not the most maneuverable, but it is pretty quick. And oh, you can make jumps with that as well. Pretty cool. Oh, I've got a really cool idea for this. Returning back to the build system, I should have mentioned this earlier, but they've actually improved the way that you can do stairs. This is big because before we had to make sure that we planned where the stairs were prior to placing them. But now, providing we grab some logs, we can now, once we've placed a full wall, do a beam across and then your diagonal piece. From here, we can now place a ramp or, should we wish, the staircase immediately. Really nice quality of life addition there. Grabbing the unicycle again, I'm going to see what happens if, there we go, we attempt to drive over the spring trap. Oh wow! Oh, you will stumble when you fall down, but that was pretty epic. Another build addition, or I don't know if it's a new build addition, but certainly a change in the name, is the mannequin stand is now the armor rack. So it looks exactly the same. I hadn't used it before, but I presume it wasn't usable before, and now we can. Oh, this is creepy. This is really creepy. I'm wishing I never did this. And the other key feature that they have added in this update is that when you make a save now, you do have the option to delete the saves should you wish. I mean, this is all well and good, but there's a maximum of 30 slots, and you can see I have several saves saved at different points in order for me to play around with my content creation. What we really need, and please, Endnight, please add it, it's a huge quality of life addition, is the ability to name our saves. That's all I want. Give us a little cog over here above the X that allows us, or just to be able to click and name a save. Please, please, please add that. Let's go over the improvements now. So the devs have also added a lot of little improvements and fixes to the game in this update. Do let me know if you're liking their approach to early access. A few people weren't too keen on it, but I think personally they're doing a really good job at the moment. One of the new update changes is that you can now destroy these, supposedly. Might take us a while. I assure you it's possible. There we go. And we can do the same with the towers as well. Some of the improvements that have been added include Mr. and Mrs. Puffton's clothes now burn if you burn their bodies. There's also the improved navigation around lakes for animals and characters. So, for example, Kevin shouldn't get lost in the lakes anymore. or stuck in them, I should say. You can also now more easily dismember dead characters. You can also now pick up and throw the puffy dead bodies. They've also added a load more little improvements to the game, such as improving some of the enemy's base attack logic. Also, enemy damage game setting is now properly replicated to the clients in multiplayer as well, which is nice. Calvin can also pick up different types of arrows all at once, and that will be visibly on show as he carries them. The Fly Swatter and Bone Maker traps will no longer be triggered on small animals, and they've improved the morgue lighting in the residential bunker and added some dead cultists there. Other balances and changes to the game is that the cannibals now have an increased chance to, or ability to, dodge heavy attacks that you do. Also, they've increased John 2's damage to structures, so do bear that in mind when you're building your bases. And enemies, as you can see, can now flee further when scared. For the whole list of fixes and improvements and changes to the game, do check out their Steam page. It has everything there. But guys, we are going to leave it there. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you did like it. And obviously, if you are enjoying Sons of the Forest and want to keep up to date with the update news, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more. We're going to be covering each update as it comes. Also, let me know in the comments what electrical items you can see them adding into the game or that you really want to see. And guys, if you're wondering what to watch next, why not check out one of my many epic builds? We've got a whole playlist to Sons of the Forest builds, and this one will be coming soon. But until next time, special thanks does go to all of our amazing supporters, most notably our Solarclipse patrons, James Irwin, Firefless, and Treble, as well as our Lunars, the Calamity, Ben, Star, Shoku the Emin Wolf, and That Dude AW, as well as our Blood Moon of the day, which today is the Viking Brit. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.